Hello there, and welcome back to yet another review. So I've very recently finished Suikoden 1 from the HD remasters. I'm gonna do Suikoden 1 and Suikoden 2 as two separate reviews so that they get the amount of time that they both deserve. Suikoden 2 will have the look at the achievements rather than doing them both like so separately and trying to figure out which ones were which. But Suikoden 1. So this is the first time I've played Suikoden 1. Suikoden 2 I've played a couple of times in the past. Admittedly I've not played it for like 25 years, but I have played Suikoden 2 before. I've not played Suikoden 1. So this was a brand new experience for me. Obviously with it being nearly 30-year-old game at this point, some of the game itself is a little dated. There's not very much in the way of like strategy with the combat and all that sort of stuff. Basically it's very much formative in how the series would progress going on. It introduces all of the key features but doesn't particularly go into depth with them. So like with most of the characters tend to have just like attack, or if they've got a rune they'll have a rune attack. There's not much in the way of like multiple levels of like, oh you can have fire runes, water runes and this, that and that on the same character. You get one per character, and if they've got like say the Falcon rune that Valeria has, she won't be able to have magic as well. But it does introduce the sort of short, long and middle ranged combat. So you can have you can only have your short ranged attackers on the front line. Medium can be both. I'm pretty certain long range can be both as well, but the long range characters tend to be a bit more easier to kill. They tend to be a little bit more defensively less solid. And then obviously with that, the majority of the time you're going to spend just attacking. Like there's a couple of unite attacks where the characters will join up. There's one that is particularly overpowered. It's between the main character Tia McDowell and his mentor, his teacher. His name is Kai. Yeah, his name was Kai. Pretty certain of it. They will basically attack all of the enemies, so it's really good for taking out like the normal random mobs that you bump into like all the time. So there's that, and then there's stuff like the upgrades for the weapons, like the weaponsmith and stuff like that, and then like introducing like the gambling minigame, which comes back later in the series as well. And then just like the whole headquarters aspect, where it's like it gives you a taste of what it wanted to do, and you see it progress a lot more in Suikoden 2. Suikoden 2 adds like a load of extra stuff to it, which I'll get into in the next review. But Suikoden 1 is very bare bones in that fact, and also with it has 108 characters, but most of them are like inconsequential to the story itself. You'll just like go into a town and it'll be like, there was one character that was cleaning clothes in one of the towns, and there was like a short trade sequence that you had to do to recruit the character, but beyond that there wasn't anything else to do with the character. There was no like backstory or anything like that, or quest related to the character, which gets built upon in Suikoden 2. So Suikoden 1 is very like bare bones with like all the extra stuff, which is perfectly fine. It's the first game in the series. You expect it to be. You can obviously see that it's gonna excel and grow and become much more, which it does in Suikoden 2, which is why Suikoden 2 is one of my favourite RPGs of all time. But you can kind of see the formative elements there. The music as well, like you can the music's really good, and there's quite a lot of like really powerful musical sequences, but you can see that it's going to start growing in the future. Like there's going to be like more to it. It includes like the iconic title song, I guess, the main song for the series, which is pretty cool. But the story by itself is actually pretty damn good. So it involves basically you are the son of a general of the Empire, and the Empire has become corrupt, and it is hurting its citizens and stuff like that. And basically, there's a resistance movement that's trying to usurp the Empire and fight back against injustice and all that good stuff, like most games tend to do. The difference here is the underlying story is that in the world of Suikoden there is 27 true runes, and these runes are what make up all of the lower level runes, the fire runes, and any of the other magic that or special abilities that all of the rest of the characters get. These true runes are incredibly powerful, and in this game there is 3 true runes that are kind of main to the story. There was a couple of other ones. There's a true wind rune that it doesn't have anything particularly to do with the story, it's just like one of the characters has it. But there's 3 that are central to the story, and that is the gate rune. What was the other one called? I think it's like the back rune potentially. I don't remember what the names of the 2 runes were, but the main one is the gate rune, which, or is it that the gate rune's split into 2? Can't remember. But 2 of the characters have this gate rune or parts of this gate rune, and then there's a Soul Eater rune. The Soul Eater rune ends up on your character. Your character ends up with the Soul Eater rune, and that's kind of like the underlying story, is that the main bad guy is this Windy that's trying to get hold of the Soul Eater rune that you have, and it's your job to stop her from getting the Soul Eater rune. And it ends up with like this general fight between the resistance and the Empire going on and struggling, and it turns out this Windy is like manipulating the Emperor and manipulating all of the generals and brainwashing them. And as you generally progress through the story, all the generals will start realizing the error of their ways, and it comes up and ends up with the fight against the Emperor at the end. But yeah, generally it's this trying to stop Windy from getting the Soul Eater rune is like the main undercurrent to the story, with like this whole fight going on over the top. She's like pretty damn good the way that it's been written. It's not just a whole, oh, you need to stop Windy from getting the Soul Eater rune. There's a political thing that goes on over the top of it. And obviously you get the headquarters, and you have to build up your army and whatnot, and it's just really good for what it was at the time. Replayability wise, there is more than one ending. There is an ending that you get for getting all 108 Stars of Destiny, which is all of the recruitable characters in the game. And then you get one where you don't get all of the Stars of Destiny. As of me recording this, I haven't done the 108 Stars of Destiny ending for Suikoden 1. There is because of the battle sequences in the game that take place for like the army fights, which again drastically improve with the next couple of entries in the series. It's possible for the characters to die in these battles, and one of them died during the battle, and I didn't notice, and I didn't know that that affected the 108 stars of Destiny ending, and well, yeah, I got to replay the entire game again. Luckily, it's really short. It's not particularly big, and on top of that, you've also got quality of life updates where you've got auto battle that you can do, and also there's a speed up element as well, so you can double and then triple the speed. But yeah, that's it for Suikoden. I enjoyed playing it. I've got to go and play it again at some point, but at the moment I'm working my way through Suikoden 2. So by the time this goes up, I will probably have finished Suikoden 2, hopefully. But yeah, as always, if you did enjoy this content, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. Thank you for watching, and go play Suikoden. It's really good.